So I just got done watching Spider's Game, and is it just me that's disappointed that this episode wasn't about Dance Dance Revolution? Otherwise known as the one where those ants were totally humping in the corner of that scene, this is Inferno's introduction. And besides a little bit of backplot to Tarantulas, that's really what this episode is. It's just there's a stasis pod crashing, the Predacons get to it first, and then we get to enjoy the insanity that is Inferno. And by the way, Tarantulas is still after a stasis pod. We get to find out why that's a thing in this episode as well. I do like that Tarantulas is making plays against both Maximals and Predacons here. This is the first time, we know he's in it for himself, but this is the first time he's actively kept or made some kind of offense toward both sides of the Beast Wars and firmly planted himself in the middle. Not so much as a rogue Predacon, but as his own solo agent. And we find out throughout the course of the episode that he's after an intact stasis pod because he wants to build an escape pod. He wants off of the planet because, according to him, it is doomed. Now, if you've seen the rest of the series, you know exactly what he's talking about. But here, he's the only one who seems to know exactly what is going on. And it makes it interesting. It makes it all the more interesting why he was missing from the previous episode. It's important to note, I'm going by official order here, rather than any kind of wiki entry, anything that has been rearranged to make more sense. I'm going by actual production numbers of the episodes as provided by tfwiki.net, because if anyone's going to get the information right, it is those people. But for the most part, I'm trying to go by like the official order of the episodes. So this takes place right after the trigger. Speaking of, Blackarachnia is like, considering how much power she gained and then subsequently quickly lost, it is actually pretty impressive to see that she is still out with her own machinations and she wasn't deterred in any way. She's trying to ally with Tarantulas, not for any real reason. She believes at this point he's just rebelling against Megatron for the same reason everyone's rebelling against Megatron. They want to take over. They want to be the top Predacon. That's Blackarachnia. It's not Tarantulas, though. He has no interest in leading Predacons. He's really in it for himself only. And like I said, it does make it makes it more interesting as you figure out Tarantulas' character and motivation, why he was missing in the previous episode when an alien death ray was the big plot point and everything around, and Blackarachnia was blowing up everything. Yeah. According to him, the planet is doomed. We know why. Well, we will know why. And it's fascinating. No, and we just kind of sit and wonder how Tarantulas, of all people, knows this. Like I said, we're going to get to know as the series goes on, and it's going to be an interesting one. All right, so let's do Inferno. So Inferno is not a character that's ever going to drive a plot or a storyline. He's not any kind of cornerstone character that the plot is going to revolve around. Nothing he does is going to have major implications. What he is exactly what Megatron needs, a purely loyal soldier amongst a crew of Predacons. And interestingly enough, the two most treacherous are the ones who gave life to this creature. In a little bit of irony there. We got, for the first time, we got to see a stasis pod actually do what it's supposed to do, which is when its orbit decays far enough, it makes an effort to actually turn toward the planet and make a safe landing, which this pod does. And if Tarantulas had not pulled the chip and replaced it with the shell program when he did, we might have seen what happens when a completely normal Maximal pops out of the pod. It's interesting to me that the pod conveniently waited. Like, it scanned the beast mode and then it just waited for Tarantulas to show up before it started doing anything, where all of the others were very quick to release the new protoform as soon as the beast mode was selected. Convenience in the story, I will admit. Inferno here is fun. He is firmly in the mindset that the colony, the stasis pod is his colony, because that's where he was birthed. That is, as far as he knows, home. Now, logic circuits are clouded in this one. The best guess is that because Tarantulas interrupted the programming sequence, the protoform started getting programmed with the instincts of an ant rather than the maximal or Predacon programming that should have been there. Interesting little bit, and it's just purely speculation. We have no idea why he came out insane or why he believes this was essentially a steel coffin is actually a ant colony, and no one really... And the logic circuits are clouded enough. They never really questions why he's the only one, right? So it makes him fun. I mean, he's insane, and he's going to be a great source of amusement throughout the next 2.5 seasons of this show. For now, like I said, he is what the Predacons need. He is a very powerful warrior who is very loyal to Megatron. Powerful, yes, but we need to talk Tigertron first. This is another episode where Tigertron and Air Razor get to start bonding and forming a connection. This is, I think, where, if you're going to follow the romance between these two, I think this is where it sparks for the first time. And I like the confidence Air Razor has in this episode. And I don't like the confidence Tigertron has, because he has this bravado to him that he hunts better alone, but this time he would have gotten scrapped if not for Air Razor intervening and bringing along Optimus Primal in the process. He takes so much damage. He gets shot so many times and holds together amazingly. I mean, it does definitely look like he's about to bite it. Inversely, Inferno gets blown up by one missile. So Tigertron takes like 1,000,000 blasts, and Inferno blows up into scrap like Waspinator would after one missile. So I'm going to chalk Inferno up to a glass cannon for now. There's an episode I can think of where that rating is going to change, but we'll get to that. For a little bit of trivia here. The one other thing I meant to bring up about Tigertron. The big thing about Tigertron is I remember the episode where he stated, where Primal managed to sneak up on him, and his reaction was, it's not many who can sneak up on me. In this episode, Blackarachnia sneaks up on him, and Waspinator, of all bots, sneaks up on him. So I think that needs to be reevaluated somewhat. All right, trivia time for the episode. This is the only episode of Beast Wars where Scott McNeil only voices one character, Waspinator. Dinobot and Rat Trap are missing for the entire episode, and of course we haven't gotten to Silverbolt yet. So every other time he's getting paid at least double for having multiple characters at once, but I don't know, weird little tidbit for the most busy member of the voice cast. Also, this is the episode where they finally dropped the phrase Inferno in referring to essentially Transformer Hell, and later on they will replace it with the Pit. And what's funny about that is realizing that upon birth, Inferno named himself Hell. Like, what? That's balls. That is balls. He also, interestingly enough, had a Predacon energy signature as soon as he woke up, which would mean it's not detecting the energy, it's detecting the programming, which wouldn't alter the energy type. I don't know. It's a weird little mix. It's an enjoyable episode. There's nothing really going on here outside the B plot of Tarantulas trying to get a pod for himself. It lets us know a little bit more about what's going on in the Vox side of the storyline. This is mostly just to even up the odds after Air Razor comes online. Now the sides are even again, and Inferno makes for a very different breed of Predacon. Insane and insanely loyal. and that's going to be fun to watch for the rest of the series. So that is what I have for Spider's Game. Join me. I will be talking about another episode soon, and we are marching through the entire season. Stick around. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.